A British toddler, that is to say a little tiny person in Great Britain, was suspended from a nursery school, no less. That's getting suspended pretty early there. During the 22-23 school year, for being normal is what happened. Transphobic, that was the label that was attached to the toddler in the preschool. Although the school has yet to give specifics on the matter. Why would they? Sadly, the child is hardly alone. With 94 students at state primary schools being suspended for such offenses as being, transphobic, anti-trans, during a single school term, all right? And that's pretty amazing stuff, affecting children across year one and year two, meaning all of the children were 7 years old and younger. The incident that we're talking about here even caught the attention of Harry Potter novelist and notable, I think, anti-transgender activist J.K. Rowling, one of the most successful people in the history of the world, who called it totalitarian insanity, which is generous, I think, totalitarian insanity. But it is, and this is, once again, it's the left terrorizing children because they want to strip the genitalia off of 4-year-olds.
And it's the left, but you have to remember the left is so organized from a global standpoint that when it comes to sort of pushing this LGBTQ transgender agenda, that's happening at a global scale, which is very disturbing, and it impacts so many countries, but it also impacts these schools where they're indoctrinating these children. And look, a toddler, I'm so sorry, a 7-year-old, they are so vulnerable. They're so and if you're giving them information, they're like sponges. So they're going to obviously go with, and they're going to be honest in what they see, a boy or a girl. So it's absolutely outrageous that they would go after these young toddlers in any way, or just children or even teenagers, especially on this issue of transgenderism.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to say, I like to, bring the Roman Empire into my thinking at least a couple of times a day. And it does feel like like the final days of the Roman Empire around here, in Western civilization, where we're cutting our own throats.
Yeah, where kids are being punished for thinking normally, I guess, in that way. And it is a shame, and to Mercy's point, she's absolutely right. It's just like we are letting insanity take hold to a point where you're punished for being normal or for questioning what seems normal in society. And so I think it's a huge disservice for the kids. It's also a huge disservice for the kids who are identifying as trans or the parents who identify as trans, because then you've essentially isolated your kid or your lifestyle to these other kids as well. And so I think by putting such a spotlight on it, you're doing a disservice to both sides. If you're an adult and you choose to be trans, live that life, that's fine,
also,
that's your decision.
If you get suspended for these types of comments, that you're a 7-year-old, that doesn't exactly will make you a very accepting and tolerant person for the rest of your life about trans people or LGBT people if you're kicked out of school because you said the wrong thing.
Well, and I mean, kids are born with a knowledge of there is male and there is female. I am a boy or I am a girl. And obviously this child's parents did a great job instilling that in them. Bravo to these parents. But let's be very clear. It is child abuse, in my opinion, to tell a child you might not be a boy, you might not be a girl. There is maybe an inherent mistake in how you were created. That is the issue here. That is disgusting.
That's why there's the Chris Plant store online related to my radio show, and we sell T-shirts and coffee mugs that simply say, "Remember normal." Normal is under attack, and it's in retreat right now because of the lunatics, all of them on the left.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.